Prabowo Subianto, the next president of Indonesia, has gained popularity across Indonesia. Many view him as a decisive leader who can bring about much-needed reforms. His military background is often highlighted as a key strength, suggesting that he has the discipline and strategic mindset to tackle Indonesia's complex challenges. Subianto's supporters argue that his experience in the armed forces has given him a unique perspective on national security and governance. There's just one problem with Indonesia's next leader. It's that he's not really appreciated across the world. Many articles have pointed out his flaws, history, and controversies. So why has this been the case? Is there something really awful beneath Prabowo? Or has he transformed himself into the next great leader of Indonesia? Well, let's break these down into two categories. The first is the controversies being promoted overseas. His human rights record has been a subject of controversy, especially in relation to his military career. During the late 1990s, under the rule of former Indonesian President Suharto, Subianto, then a three-star general, was implicated in a scandal involving the kidnapping of 23 students, activists, and critics by soldiers from Team Rose, a special forces unit he led. These events took place in a turbulent period in Indonesia's history, known as the Reformasi era, leading to the end of Suharto's 32-year rule. Despite these allegations, Subianto has never been prosecuted for his alleged role in these events, a point often raised by his defenders. Subianto's past also includes accusations of human rights abuses during crackdowns on democracy protests in the Suharto era, along with allegations of involvement in human rights violations in Timor-Leste during the 1980s and 90s when Indonesia occupied the now independent nation. These allegations have been a persistent part of his public image, and despite his denials, they continue to influence perceptions of him both within Indonesia and internationally. Another problem is his alleged involvement in financial and political scandals. Critics point to Subianto's connection to Indonesia's elite political and business circles, which they believe could lead to conflicts of interest and governance issues. This is particularly relevant in Indonesia, where corruption has been a long-standing issue. His ties to powerful figures are seen as potentially problematic, with skeptics arguing that these connections could influence his decision-making and policy implementation in favor of the elite rather than the broader population. On the international front, Subianto's policies and history may also affect Indonesia's diplomatic relationships. His human rights record, if not addressed, could strain Indonesia's ties with countries that prioritize human rights in their foreign policy. Similarly, his approach to issues like trade, regional security, and environmental policies will be closely watched by international partners and could either enhance or complicate Indonesia's role on the global stage. Now that we have a clear grasp of his history, let's take a look at how he won Indonesia's new election. Prabowo Subianto's victory in Indonesia's 2024 presidential election was confirmed by the country's election commission, marking a significant turn in his political career after previous attempts at the presidency. Garnering more than 58% of the nationwide vote, Subianto achieved a landslide victory over his rivals, Anies Baswedan and Ganjar Pranowo, who received about 25% and 17% of the votes respectively. His success in the election was attributed to various factors, including his promises to continue the economic policies of the popular outgoing president Joko Widodo, also known as Jokowi. Subianto's campaign emphasized continuing Jokowi's focus on infrastructure development and foreign investment, as well as new initiatives like raising salaries for civil servants and tackling extreme poverty. Subianto's alliance with Jokowi reflected in his choice of Jokowi's son, Gibran Rakabuming Raka, as his vice presidential running mate, and was seen as a strategic move to gain the support of Jokowi's base. This alliance, however, raised concerns about the influence of the outgoing president in Subianto's administration and sparked accusations of election interference and patronage politics. Prabowo Subianto's victory in the 2024 Indonesian presidential election can be attributed to a combination of strategic shifts in his political approach and effective campaign tactics. Firstly, Subianto learned from his previous electoral defeats in 2014 and 2019. During these campaigns, he adopted a populist stance, aligning with various nativists and hardline groups. However, these strategies did not yield the desired results. For the 2024 elections, he shifted away from overtly polarizing tactics, such as otherizing minority groups and allying with hardline Islamists. Instead, he focused on casting Europe as an external adversary, particularly in discussions about Indonesia's international relations and sovereignty issues. This approach resonated with historical sensitivities in Indonesia related to colonialism. Subianto's decision to join President Jokowi's cabinet as defense minister marked a significant turn in his political persona, showcasing him as a technocrat with a more inclusive outlook. This change in public image played a vital role in his campaign. Subianto's campaign also endorsed several policies, like a free lunch program targeting over 80 million children and supporting the continuation of the previous administration's natural resource downstreaming policies. His campaign was not without controversies though, including a controversial advertisement campaign and certain remarks that sparked public discussion. But anyway, do let us know what you think down in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.